So, you don't like the hospital?
No, I wouldn't say that. It's just that I feel it's more a job than a ministry.
Well, that's why you went to med school instead of the seminary.
Now, you know what I mean.
Sure I do. You're one of those chosen few who got all the way to med school without losing your idealism. So, what's your heart in?
A free clinic?
You serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Where?
I don't know, somewhere where it's needed. Some place where people can't pay the bills but need the treatment.
Have you told anybody else about this?
Yeah, one, Dr. Fredrickson at lunch, in a moment of great weakness. He laughed all the way through his corned beef sandwich. I vowed right then and there I would keep my dreams to myself. You see, Dave, I know how naive this whole thing sounds, but you won't let go of me.
Oh, maybe not naive, but I don't think you know what you're getting into, and maybe that's for the best. Say, why am I getting in on the bottom line on this?
Because if I go through with it, I'm going to need some help.
Set me up with a 3-course meal and then make the pitch.
Now, Dave, I'm not taking this thing lightly. You don't know how much I've prayed about it. And I will need a good man, someone who's patient, experienced with clinic work.
Oh, I ran an abortion clinic, Ben.
Yeah, but that's over and done with. You've spent the whole evening telling us how the Lord has rebuilt your personal life. Maybe, Dave, just maybe, he wants to give you back your practice as well. Lori ran upstairs. I was afraid to go into the bedroom after her.
You didn't sleep on the couch, did you?
Not exactly. I fell asleep in the chair in the living room, woke up around 2, and then snuck into Lori's room. She was sleeping.
Ben, we all know how changeable Lori's been, but we can't allow her moods to affect us.
Oh, it's just not moods, Terry.
What do you mean?
I don't know if I can believe her anymore. This morning she was complaining about feeling sick. I asked her what was wrong. She said she was feeling nauseous.
Well, how did she look?
Oh, I checked her. She didn't have a temperature. Her color was fine.
Well, so what reason could she possibly have for lying about something like that?
An excuse to stay in bed, not to go outside.
Oh, Ben, we can't be sure of that.
No, we can't. But I am certain about one thing, Terry. She's got to take hold of this help I'm offering her, and she's got to do it soon. I can't hold my hand out forever.
Ben, it's possible that Lori is coming down with something. I don't think we should try to psychoanalyze everything she says.
Terry, you know she doesn't like going out, and she knows that we want her to go out more often. So she has to create some tangible reason for hiding up in her room. I'm sorry for being so suspicious, but I do think I know a little bit about the human mind.
Who's mine?
Well, not yours, Peter. That's one nut we haven't cracked yet.
Ha, 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 ha.
Hey, you're running a little late today, aren't you, Peter?
You guessed it.
Hey, you gotta have more than that for breakfast.
Now, if you read the labels on these, you'll see I have everything I need right here.
Not until after your first class, when you head for the student union for a burger and a milkshake.
Thought you weren't reading my mind.
I'm reading your stomach. Well, get yourself some fruit on your way to class. Say, you know, by the way, I could have fixed you breakfast if you'd been down here a half hour ago.
And I would have been down here a half hour ago if I could have gotten in the shower.
Lori?
Yeah. She was in there 20 minutes. She obliged me 5.
Why didn't you use the one downstairs?
Because I can't take a shower in the sink.
Peter, did Lori look all right to you?
No better or worse than usual.
I think I better check on her.
What's the big crisis today?
Well, you're out and about awful early today.
Oh, save the cheery manner, Harold.
Uh-oh, bad morning, huh?
So far as I'm concerned, it's still last night. I think I got about 4 hours sleep.
Sorry to hear that. I slept like the proverbial log.
Oh, really? What's your secret?
Clean living and exercise. And, Seconals don't hurt.
Well, I tossed and turned all night. Now listen, Harold, about that story on Miriam in the Chronicle, you went to the editor and straightened him out, right?
I did see the editor, yeah. Walter McGovern, good man, knows his business.
But you threatened him with a lawsuit, right?
A threat that any self-respecting editor hears 1,000 times a year. Charles, I know that in the past, I would jump, sit, roll over whenever you ask, but I think our relationship has progressed beyond that point for our mutual benefit.
Are you advising against the lawsuit?
Well, as I told you before, Charles, you don't have any grounds. Our only hope was to intimidate McGovern. He practically laughed in my face. Now, I'll draw up some papers if you ask me to. And if we could find a judge who is recovering from a hangover from a wild all-night party, who is on the take, and who happens to be your blood relative, he just might let it slip by into court.
You know, you can cut the sarcasm. You've already made your point. However, I'd like to point out also that I don't hear any other solutions. Or has our professional relationship outgrown those, too?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did talk to Gene Redlin privately. I appealed to his friendship for Miriam. Asked him to consider backing off on the story.
Consider? How nice.
Well, if you want anything any more concrete than that, you're going to have to be able to prove to the court or directly to the newspaper that continuing with the stories is going to endanger Miriam.
Use your head, Harold. If I do that, that's as good as admitting I've already heard from Miriam's kidnappers.
So what are we saying here? It comes down to either Miriam's life or your integrity?
Now, let me tell you something. It's my integrity with the kidnappers that's keeping my daughter alive.
Okay. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. You just try to calm down. Remember your heart.
Yeah, all right, all right. About collecting the ransom. I assume that you finished with that.
You mean Ben doesn't trust Lori?
Well, don't say it that way. I think it's just been tough on him.
He sure has been a trooper about the whole thing. He's a better husband than I could ever be.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, I'm not kidding you. He's got patience.
Well, look, without going into too much detail, Ben was worried about his patients just the other day.
Yeah, sounds like him. You know, people with patience and people that are charitable, they're always worried they're not given enough. It's the selfish, stingy people that don't even care in the first place.
Sounds like you're wondering where you fit in.
Mom, I've just been wondering about marriage lately. Ever since this happened to Lori. You know, for a while there, those two were just nearly perfect.
Move over. Well, they have had less pressured times.
Well, whatever. Anyway, I thought most marriages were like that. I think recently I've seen more of the truth.
Look, Peter, you take the good days, you take all the bad days, and you take 1,000,000 of the typical days, and you've pretty much got an accurate picture. So don't judge a lifetime of experience in a month-long crisis.
Try 4 months and counting.
That's not the point. What I'm
The
saying
point is, okay, I got your point. My point is that I don't have any patience to pull this thing off.
Besides Lori's problem, what brought this on?
Does there have to be another reason? Okay, look, there's this girl. I've had my eye on her. Nothing serious. I just got to thinking. I got to daydreaming, you know? The big what if. But then, the facts started creeping up on me. Because you know when you say I do, you're really saying I don't. I don't hide anymore. I don't demand my own way. Kind of like Ben's been doing, right? No way. Marriage isn't for me yet. I gotta go.
Peter, I love you very much. Ben, how's Lori?
She went back to bed.
Still not feeling too well, huh?
That's what she said. I tried to take another look at her. She wouldn't let me.
Hey, Ben, don't worry about it.
She wouldn't even let me get near her this time, Terry.
It's all right. You know, your attention and your trying to diagnose the symptoms probably all just reminds Lori of the hospital. And I think that's one experience she'd just as soon forget.
In other words, don't take it personally.
Give me that, please.
Hey, Peter, I'm surprised you're still here.
On my way. Hey.
Well, I've managed to get together a little over $200,000.
200,000? Harold, that's half the figure the kidnappers asked for.
Charles, these things take time.
Oh, rubbish. I've had lawyers who could scare up more capital in much less time.
We're not talking about capital, Charles. It's not an investment. This is a ransom that we don't want anybody to be able to trace. I could easily fill out the difference we need from your bonds in no time. You want to know how that would look?
Yes, yes, yes. Suspicious.
To a reporter like Gene Redlin, it'd look downright conclusive.
All right, now, how have you managed to raise the money that you've gotten so far?
Begged, borrowed, and stole it. Well, I mean, we got a bookkeeper over at Hollister Mall, writes better fiction than Hemingway.
A bookkeeper is in on this, too?
Oh, no, John, no. He thinks that he's doing it to expedite the tax return for the coming tax season. See, what he's doing is he's funneling the leasing revenues off into a special stockholders account. Looks like operating capital instead of profits.
It's secure, I hope.
Money in the bank. I mean, literally. And it's all in your name if you care to read fine print. Oh, boy. Why am I so tired all of a sudden?
Listen, how much time in order to get the balance of what we need?
Well, 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe even longer. I mean, with the Chronicle looking over our shoulder, Charles, I'd suggest that we take a couple extra days just for good measure.
No, Harold, we're already overtime. You know, to you, this may be just another chore of banking, but I'm the one who's on the phone bartering the life of my own daughter.
Charles, that is not fair. I feel the pressure, too. Yeah, I wasn't kidding about those sleeping pills.
All right. We can cut a few more corners. But you know, if Gene Redlin decides that he wants to pry into my financial life, I want to lay a lawsuit on him that will stick.
Oh, come on, Charles. He's just trying to help. So am I. Why is it that you're forever assuming that the whole world is against you? You're not in this alone.
I've lived alone most of my life, and the only person whose help and love I've ever really known is Miriam. Now it looks as if I may never see her again.
Lance, is that you?
No, it's room service. Huh.
It's 9 a.m.
Yeah, I know, and you look more like 3 a.m. What happened to the pretty little kid I picked up at the bus depot?
Lance, could you come back and insult me later?
No, that's not an insult. That's a warning. See, I don't doll you up and supply you with junk so you can look like a 40-year-old midget. Now, you start taking care of yourself, you understand?
Lance, I will start as soon as you give me one night off a week and you call off your dogs.
Well, yeah? Listen, kid, about one night off a week, you seem to take as many as you want. And as for the dogs, it doesn't look like the dog did that much damage around here, does it?
Is that why you're here?
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure you get the message, because I don't think Russ delivered it.
That guy got his point across. Don't send him back.
No, I know. You look tired and hungover, and that's about all I see, honey.
Oh, come on, Lance. He was a monster. What is he, 6'2"?
Yeah, he's a friendly giant. He didn't touch
Oh,
it, did he, huh?
come on.
Now, you tell me, Paula. I'm gonna tell you something. If the guy blew it, he's dead. But if you blew it, you're gonna get it, and you're gonna get it first. You got that?
Look, he smashed a lamp and he pushed me up against the wall.
Yeah, and then he ran away, right? Right?
He didn't hurt me, Lance. Look, I know I skipped some appointments, but I wasn't feeling well.
Shut up! Now, I want to tell you something. If you ever miss an appointment again like that, I'm not gonna send any college boy. You got that? I'm gonna send Blue.
Oh, man, don't send him.
Wait a second. Did Russ ask you about picking up drugs?
Oh, why?
Oh, good.
I was telling Alex not too long ago what a great help you are around here.
Oh, enjoying every minute of it.
Well, there have been a lot of minutes. So, Ione, if you ever want any time off, all you've got to do is tell me.
Oh, don't worry, I won't be timid about that. You know, Carla's more than happy to be doing the cooking at home. And what with Gene's job working out so well at the Chronicle, I feel that I'm more needed here than I am at home. You look like you could use some time yourself.
That problem's going to be solved very soon. Ben is changing his schedule at the hospital so he can put in more hours here.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that.
But in fact, he's going to be here today, the most of today.
Oh, does that mean that Laurie's getting better?
Well, unfortunately, no. At least not that I know of. But working here could be the therapy that Ben needs right now, you know.
Oh, to be sure. No quicker way for a man to forget his own troubles than to reach out and help other folks.
Oh, that's your secret, huh?
I could write the book if I had the time. You know, Gene's learning that, trying his best to help Miriam in any way he can.
Yeah. How's that going?
Well, there's been no leads, but I know that Charles Carpenter wasn't too happy about Gene writing in his stories, but I don't want to be too harsh a judge on the man. What with his daughter in that situation, it just must be awfully hard on him.
Yeah, well, I've never met the man, but I can sympathize with him, not knowing where his daughter is.
And what's with your daughters? Have you heard from them lately?
Oh, don't get me started on that. I'm still trying to work up the courage to go and see them.
Oh, well, as soon as Ben starts working around here a little more regularly, you'll find the time and you'll do just that.
Hey, morning, Bob.
No news is good news.
What?
There's nothing on Mrs. Mason in this morning's paper.
Sure, man. My hunch was right then, huh? I told you I didn't think Carpenter would squeal the cops.
Yeah, we're still gonna wait around for a while just in case he has. By the way, have you been to Saddleback yet?
No, what?
Did you get the message that Blue was trying to reach you here last night?
Oh, for what?
Maybe his night light went out. Ramona and I were alone.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
We were enjoying ourselves. We were having a nice night. A little wine, a little classical music, and your friend, Mr. Moron, calling every 20 minutes.
All right. I'll make sure he doesn't call here anymore.
Okay, fine. Now I want you to get lost.
What are you talking about? Get lost, boss? You missed the fireworks?
What do you mean?
Well, you called Russ over, right?
Yeah, so why the fireworks?
Well, you're gonna love this, man. I got up early this morning, went over to Paula's place. I wanted to see just how tough Cardello's son was on Paula. He didn't scratch her.
Did you speak to her?
Sure I did. She said he knocked over a lamp or something like that. That's a big deal, right? He'd be a great strong arm if we sold furniture.
That really disappoints me.
What do you mean, disappointed? If Blue would have muffed a job like that, you'd want to kill both of us.
You've messed up plenty of jobs without that happening.
Yeah, you're a lot more than disappointed. I'm telling you, the kid's a punk. He gave us that line about being unchallenged, and he can't handle the simplest job.
Well, maybe he had a reason.
Well, you're playing favorites here.
What do you mean, favorites?
He's Vince's son, and you're giving him the benefit of the doubt. But you just remember, Vince said if he can't hack it, he's out.
He also said he didn't want his son to be involved with the girls, just loans, remember?
Yeah, right. Well, if he can't scare teenage hookers, what's he gonna do when he has to muscle payment out of a bricklayer?
Thank you, Lance. You've delivered your message.
Hey, you know, man, I can't figure you out sometimes.
You want the truth? I hated Vince for telling me to hire his son. But after I met the kid, I saw enough blind ambition in him to outweigh his weaknesses.
Yeah, right. Sounds like you're rooting for him.
No, I'm not anymore.
Good. Then what are we gonna do with him?
Ben, glad to see you here.
Hey, I'm glad to see the place is still standing.
Well, the place is. We're not.
Oh, I was so happy when Dave told me that you'd be in this afternoon.
Yes, but I will have to leave for lunch. I promised Lori I'd come home and eat with her.
Oh, how has she been?
Well, there's been no great improvement lately.
Oh, wait a minute, Ben. In doctor's shorthand, that means her condition's stable.
Fair enough.
I'll get that.
Okay. Oh, hey, about lunch. I'm meeting Alex at the Greenbrier today. Why don't you and Laurie join us there instead of going home?
Well, I'd love to, but I don't want to push it.
Well, all right. Hey, then why don't you bring Laurie here after lunch?
That's not a bad idea.
She could talk to Ione while you're working. I know you want to get her out a little bit more.
Yeah, and she knows I want to get her out, too. That's why we think she might be exaggerating things just a little to stay inside.
Oh, how's that?
Well, this morning she was complaining about being feverish and said she felt nauseous.
Oh, that sounds a lot like Carla's morning sickness.
But I will suggest it to Lori. I'd love for her to come down here and see the clinic in action.
Oh, and she'll see plenty of that. That was a gentleman wanting to know whether or not his favorite doctor would be around this afternoon.
Oh, who was that?
Well, I didn't get his name, but he stuttered a lot.
Oh, Blue Nobles.
Could be. Said something about his eye.
All right, that was our very first patient here, Ben, the guy I've been telling you about.
Great, and he's going to be here this afternoon?
Well, he didn't say for sure. He just wanted to know whether or not Dave was going to be around.
Hey, fantastic. I can't wait for you to meet him.
Well, me too.
Hey, it's about time to open the doors. Come on, lend a hand.
All right.
Well, what are you going to do with him?
I'll have a talk with him.
Oh, come on, don't let him off.
I let you explain your side of the story whenever you make mistakes.
Yeah, right. You let me explain, but you don't listen. I want to tell you something. This guy's a con. He's all mouth, no guts.
You know, Lance, you don't look good green.
I'm not jealous. Nobody can take my place.
Who brought that up? Now, I want you to get out of here.
Come on, man. You're not going to let me see this?
Why should I?
It's too late. Russ is already here.
Join us each weekday for more of Another Life.